Hi, my name is Sam Johnson and I'm a voice teacher. Today, we're gonna be looking at my throat. We're gonna look at my larynx, we're gonna look at my nose. It's gonna be fun. This past weekend, I was at a conference for voice teachers in Denver. It was the International Voice Teachers of Mix Conference, and it was awesome. And that is an organization that I've been a part of pretty much since its conception. I've been in it for like 8 or so years. It's made up of some really, really cool people. Some of my main teachers that I had ever started it and were big figures in this organization. And it was really great to go back and connect with all of them and learn from people who are way smarter than me and have way more experience than I do in this, just titans of the vocal world. Along with all of that, I got scoped. So this video is meant to show you what it looks like to get scoped in case you might ever have to go do that, so that you kind of have an idea of what you're getting into before you do it. This video is meant to help educate you about what throat anatomy looks like and about what it looks like while different sounds are being made. And this video is meant to entertain, so if you need help, go seek a professional. Don't self-diagnose based on what you see in this video. My first teacher that I ever had for voice was Terry Stock, and she is great. And her husband is Kurt Stock. He is an ENT, and it's just this great power couple. So he brought his scope to this conference and was scoping people just to make sure that everything was good. Even for healthy people, I think that scopes are a valuable tool because it does give you a baseline. In case down the line something does start going weird with your voice, you would then have these images that you can compare whatever is happening to, and you can see what's changing over time. And it's just a really good thing to go get checked every once in a while. They can get really expensive, even with insurance, but do it if you can, and if your insurance covers it, definitely do it. It's a good thing for people who are heavy voice users to just have a good baseline of what's going on with their vocal health. So with no further ado, here is my throat.
Here we go.
How should I breathe?
Just like you want to. Through your nose. Breathe through your nose. Perfect. Beautiful. Marvelous.
Oh, that's where it gets a little unpleasant.
Okay. Perfect. Chin up a little. Good. Perfect. Good.
Oh, there's the gag reflex.
Yeah. Say, give me an E. Sound up. One more time.
It unlocked even with this in my nose. Technology is wild. Vince, Vin. Oh, it's up an octave. Vincero. That part's always hard for me. Was that my larynx rising with it?
Yeah.
E always feels so good. I just want to do a few vocalises. I'm going to try to do a breathy falsetto. To try to make it a little more clear. Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Weird, huh? It's kind of cool and kind of weird and fun, but all of those things are true at the same time. We're now going to watch the scope back, and Dr. Stock is going to make note of any anatomical structures that are going on, see if I have any pathologies, see what's going on in my voice, in my body, and try to explain some more about the anatomy for you guys.
So now here we are. These would be the lingual tonsils, which we'll look at in just a little. Okay, and then we're looking at epiglottis. And you're gagging. Okay. Epiglottis.
It's the horseshoe.
The horseshoe, yeah. True vocal folds, false vocal folds, and false vocal folds here and here. And then the epilaryngeal tube extending about up to here. We call it the petiole of the epiglottis. So right around in that area. These are called piriform sinuses.
Because most people associate their sinuses a little higher up, yeah?
Right. These have nothing to do with the paranasal sinuses.
So what's the origin of the word sinus?
Cavity.
Oh.
So this is a cavity. And here is the opening around here to the esophagus.
Now that you're a little bit more familiar with the anatomical structures involved in singing, we're going to look at what happens when I make sounds, when I actually sing, when I do things with my voice. I'm going to do a few vocal exercises. One of them is a bubble lip. That's the one where I go and do a bubble with my lip. One of them is a straw exercise where I take this little straw and I just blow through it. Doing both of those, they're fairly similar. They're both considered semi-occluded vocal tract exercises or SOVT exercises. And the purpose of that is to just balance the registration. It's to balance the air and muscle. Technically, I guess it squares up the vocal cords, gives you a more full vocal cord closure rather than just like the tips of the vocal folds coming together. And notice I am calling them vocal folds, not vocal cords. And that's because they do come together from the bottom. When people first started studying the voice, technology wasn't very good, so we only had a bird's eye view of what was going on. We weren't able to see everything, and it's still honestly not that good. It's hard to see exactly what's going on with a lot of things in vocal science, but they looked like two little chords. C-O-R-D-S, not C-H-O-R-D-S. Notice as I am making these sounds, as I sing the songs, as I start going toward high pitches, those vocal folds start stretching. They become longer, they thin out and lose mass as they become longer. If you are able to hold on to more of that mass, it does generally create a little bit of a heavier sound. You'll also notice that there are times where my vocal folds, where I try to make it a breathier sound, and you see that there's a little bit more of a space in between. Whenever I talk about the balance of air and muscle resistance, that's kind of what I'm talking about, is if they have a more full wave, then it just creates, in my opinion, a better sound, but objectively a less breathy sound. I don't consider anatomy to be my strongest suit in the voice, but it's cool to see how all of this stuff works together. So now I will turn the time over to Dr. Stock.
So now you are glissando. Once again, as you got higher and higher, these area epiglottic folds become thinner. Your epilaryngeal tube gets narrower, which raises your voice, raises your pitch. So right now you're engaging your false vocal folds. You're doing the grr, the gruff, and so you're making a lot of that sound with your false vocal folds and these arytenoids that come forward, as you'll see them come forward.
Oh, so the arytenoids even help with creating that.
They fold forward. See how they're folding forward? Okay. Falsetto. See how long and narrow that tube got? Full voice. You formed a very long tube here. And honestly, I've not seen an epiglottis rotate quite like yours. Narrow.
What do you think that means?
I think it's just a gift.
It's helpful?
To help you sing.
I like that.
If you were to take...
There's a reason I haven't quit this yet. Okay.
If you were to look at Pavarotti's epilarynx and compare it to Caruso's larynx, epilarynx, Pavarotti's is much thinner and narrower. So they tell me. This is what they tell me. That's why Pavarotti can sing in a totally different format than a lower format than Caruso, singing the high note.
Vince, vin. Oh, it's up an octave. Vincero.
This is really, quite honestly, I've never seen anybody yet, not that I'm the end all, but who narrows that epiglottis like that whole epilaryngeal tube. So you see your larynx elevate like that, and then the arytenoids come in.
And then the second time I tried to consciously keep a little more in to keep it lower. He always feels so good. I just want to do a few vocalises.
The larynx.
That's the main important thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your vocal folds, I mean, obviously they're longer. You're a large male. They're long. And they don't look abnormally bulky to me or anything. They look just right for you. So I don't know that I could say a whole lot other than the edges are smooth and they look good. See that mucus there you see between the ridge? Lubricating, and how quickly it shows up and goes away. And
Does it look pretty hydrated?
Yeah, you look fine.
To wrap up, everything looked pretty good in my throat. There were no pathologies. There was nothing weird going on. I didn't have any polyps. I didn't have any granulomas. I didn't have any nodules, which I didn't think that anything weird was going on. If anything, I thought that we might have seen a little bit of redness from acid reflux. But my voice functions fairly well and predictably, which shows that for my ear and from my ability to just sense what's going on, it feels right. Everything just feels right. That's not always the case. Sometimes people feel right and there is something wrong with it, but generally if you're able to make the sort of sounds that I generally make in practice without issue, that is reflective of a healthy instrument. I looked hydrated, I was well lubricated, I looked healthy, I am alive. Down the line, I'm going to make a video that is more specific about how to use a straw to practice. But for right now, if you go look up Ingo Tietze, and I will put a video one of the little things that pops up in the corner right now. So click that if you'd like to, and it will take you to Ingo's video, the famous one where he starts talking about straws and shows how to use them. I'm using this straw. It's called an Evo Straw. It's a new product. It is a really cool product. And I actually met the founder of this company at the conference that I went to this past weekend, and he's a great dude, and his mission really resonates with me, and that is trying to reduce waste. And most people, when they do these straw exercises, it is still a lot of people use reusable straws, but they will use little plastic straws. I mean, even I right here have this whole bag full of these coffee stirrer straws that I've been using for a long time, and probably at this point will never get used up. But anything that we can do to kind of reduce that waste is just good for the world. And I like this a lot more than I thought I would, to be completely honest. So I wear it on this little necklace. It comes with the little necklace. And whenever I have a few minutes during the day, I've just been pulling it up and just blowing through and kind of resetting my voice. And I always feel a little bit better after a good straw session. So the biggest thing for me really is just immediate availability. Whenever I'm just on the couch and I don't want to come over here and get a straw, I can just pull this thing up and I can vocalize with it and let it go really easily. And I've never really been much of a jewelry wearer, but I think it kind of looks cool. So if you're interested in getting an Evo Straw, you can go check out the link in my description. Just use the code SAM in all caps, SAM, and you'll get 10% off of that. And I know it's an investment, but I think that it is a really cool thing. So if you're looking for that, if you're in the market and it fits your price point and everything, highly recommend it. Mine's rose gold, and I think that's pretty cool. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. If you have any friends who might be interested in getting scoped, feel free to send them this video so that they can have a better idea about what is in store for them, and share it with your friends who don't want that as well. Thank you again so much for watching.